Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to the Binding of Isaac Rebirth. So, I played Blue Baby, and I got one of the items that I haven't collected. I actually looked at every single item that we have yet to get. Turns out, doing Boss Rush does unlock some items, and actually doing Mom's Heart on Hard just unlocks babies. So, while I still will want to do one last run on hard just to show it off, the actual things that would be unlocked are actually pretty much nothing, because blue babies, co-op babies, are not an item that you collect. They might be a secret, but that's about it. So I just got Revenge Fly, literally just like from this room. I got Revenge Fly. Which maybe will help us, but we're not in the greatest position as far as health. This was very much a pill run, so I have Lemon Party and Explosive Diarrhea, and I can try and use that. My damage is at medium, my range is very high, but I don't think range matters. Shot speed is at very low. We are very early in the run. We got the airstrike item. Seraphim is the little angel baby flying around. That's the item we unlocked. Turns out, of the items that are left, a couple of them are secret room pedestal items, like raw liver, which is just an HP up. Just haven't gotten it. A lot of the items that we've unlocked, we just haven't collected and touched, and that's the last thing you would need to do. Use the left hand to get a bunch of devil deals while skipping actual devil deals. So I used the left hand to get a bunch of red chests while skipping devil deals to build up my health. At one point my health was at a full 12 soul hearts and dark hearts, but just trying to find the boss room and where the lamb is caused that to fail miserably. Alright. So, mostly this is all just going to be about don't take damage and let the airstrikes do as much damage as possible. I've been using Guppy's head for quite a bit. One of my items is definitely causing this book Necronomicon effect. So yeah, that was what we needed. Dark Bum also gave us soul hearts. Notice we had one key. I only got one angel deal, and in the angel deal that was the flying baby. So, and that literally was the next item that I had. That was the next run after the last recording. So had I just recorded it, I could have shown you from beginning to the end, but I still feel like it's pretty stupid to try and show Blue Baby runs. There's just too high of a possibility of failing if you really want to get all the way to the end. But yeah, there is something for the boss rush of every character, and that unlocks something. There's an item for getting Super Bandage Girl. I don't know if there's an item for getting Super Meat Boy that unlocks, but that's kind of it. There's no other secret or trick other than unlocking the Lost. The Lost then has like 6 items that are unlocked if you unlock and play as the Lost. There probably isn't anything here as far as these achievements between Basement Boy and Mama's Boy, other than maybe just Boss Rush unlocks. You do get items like the nail, which is a starting item, I believe, if you beat Boss Rush with Azazel. But you can see here any other secrets would almost have to be based on just something really random that we've missed, and I think we've mostly gotten them all. I assume question mark question mark question mark soul is an item that, when picked up, turns you into the blue baby, which all of those items could be useful later on in the DLC. I also looked at the Afterbirth item pool, and Afterbirth alone, I don't think really is going to add another 60 hours of experience at this point. Like, we're probably somewhere around 95% unlocks, so I could definitely see getting Afterbirth and just playing it for a very brief time. More than likely, I would want to have Afterbirth, Afterbirth Plus, and Repentance all ready to go, so that you could play all of it in a row. Suicide King, an item we never really got to successfully use. Yep. And if anything, that is one thing I think Repentance tries to fix, is that there are definitely items that even if you did get them, you would still not really ever have an opportunity to use them properly. Yeah, this is probably raw liver if I was to guess. And yeah, if we find the lost poster, that would be fine. We didn't get another store level 5. I should mention, yes, we are back in the donation spot at 000. It did reset all the way down to 0 pennies in the donation machine. Which, okay. Like, unless I had a character, and we're going to play as Judas and try and go to Lamb first. And maybe that's the only thing we'll do today. We might do some boss rushes after this, if we succeed fairly fast. Yeah. Unless you had an item that was like Fetus, Dr. Fetus with the bombs in the jar shots, or Airstrike, which is Airstrikes, which Airstrike is way better in my opinion. Unless you had one of those that gave you infinite bombs, there really isn't a lot you could have ever done with the donation machine. You could have bombed it like crazy and gotten a bunch of coins out of it and gotten it down to like 500 coins instead of being at 999. But there really isn't any reason to even get it down that low. You really just need to keep it somewhere around 950 or 800 or less, just low enough that even if you had 99 cents, you couldn't accidentally put all 99 cents into the donation machine and end up blowing it up. We can go ahead and show that here, that the donation machine is back to 0. Alright, we want 3 more cents. Can we get 3 more cents on this floor? That would be nice. If we can get a bomb. And as for Judas, we just, I think, increase our damage with that 3 charge item. Little Brimstone's gonna make this a much safer run to start with. The one of the few good buddies. Right. Would there be any way to get a bomb? Not short of stepping on the sacrifice thing. This might be the guy who starts with the right book that causes these guys to always spawn, which theoretically means you could grind out playing as this character in hopes of getting cubes of meat or bandages. I imagine if you get a cube of meat, you are, well, he has only 1 health. I guess I should have known that. Notice that. If you're to get a cube of meat or a bandage, I imagine that locks you in that one path and you don't end up with cubes of meats and bandages interchangeably. Yeah, I could definitely see this being a bit challenging. Because he does just start off with that 1 health. Whereas at least Blue Baby starts off with 3 soul hearts. But it is kind of only challenging at the first floor. By that point, you've probably picked up enough items to adjust for that. By the time you get to the end of the 2nd floor. Alright, mystery sack. Do we want to look for secret room? Okay. Do we want to look for coins in jars? No. Do we want to look for the super secret room? Yes. Can't be here. So that gives us decent chance that it's here. We'll see here if we can get a couple soul hearts if we get lucky. There we go. It really does feel like this should have been more difficult to get to this point, and it really wasn't. It was grindy, to say the least. There was a lot of runs, but even at that, I've played much grindier games. Compared to like playing some of the visual novels I've started playing, it's a walk in the park to have played all of Binding of Isaac Rebirth. The only thing that I would have found frustrating was also the thing that I was told directly because of the DLC to not even bother with, which would have been unlocking the Lost. And that's what I've heard other streamers certainly complain about when Rebirth first came out, is the unlocking the Lost elements. And sure, I guess there are items that I didn't know about that for the boss rushing, and that is slightly irritating that there is this perception that you should have at least in one run gotten so good and moved so fast that you could have boss rushed with all the characters. It makes sense of boss rushing with one character, but to actively need to defeat a boss rush, not just start a boss rush with each character, is a lot. And yeah, I don't know if any later DLC changes that equation, really. It may always be a case that you just have to spend a lot of time trying to do boss rushes after the fact, after you've beaten every other completion mark that exists. But even there, like, yes, beating a boss rush would give you a item. Does it give you a completion mark when you get the DLC that adds those completion marks for boss rushes? Or do you have to do it all over again? I wouldn't be surprised if you have to do it all over again. So there is still probably at least an excuse that you can take if you wish to not do boss rushes alone on Rebirth. And it would be fairly pedantic to complain about there just not being enough new content in Rebirth compared to the original game. And any complaint there just immediately gets shot down because of DLC. That's one of the few cases in which DLC improves a game's situation, because any complaint of it being too short is immediately addressed now. Maybe people could have complained about it being too short day one when it came out, but I don't think people would have even complained then. It's hardly like this is a really short game. I'm thinking this is not the book that you need. I think the Seven Deadly Sins book is the one that you need to summon the Horsemen of the Apocalypse. It kind of feels like some characters that you start with have a higher chance of fighting certain bosses too. Either that, or there's just straight up a randomized number that is rolled and then not re-rolled if you just restart the level, and it keeps you within different seeds but similar seeds. Evil range and shot speed up, then 2 soul hearts to protect it. Damage is really high right now, but once we leave this room, that'll be undone. 3 cents is not a good reason to go to the store. The little fez hat for Judas is, I guess, interesting. I think Westerners do have to be reminded a lot of times that Judas, Jesus, and all the other apostles would have been Middle Eastern brown people, and probably closer to wearing a fez hat than being blonde-haired, blue-eyed. But I also have very little faith that people actually were wearing fez hats during 23 BC or 0 AD. But I guess there's not a great way to depict Judas anyways. And it is just how a little kid would imagine Judas. Since this is just Isaac playing dress up. But in the context of the meta-narrative of this game, you would probably assume Isaac does have some dissociative identity disorder issues, and that he does basically have split personalities. Of course, that gets kind of thrown out of the window, and they stop being so headstrong. Edmund McMillen in particular said this. He stopped being so headstrong when they introduced Cain and Abel as characters in Repentance, because then you have 2 characters on screen and they both can't be Isaac, or at least you'd have to explain how they're both Isaac. But yeah, if there was ever a message that was more than the gameplay, that's long since been Switch than the other way, and I would say even the original versions of Isaac is way more about the gameplay than the message. I still heavily believe you can completely ignore the message if you want to, and honestly, I'm surprised that Binding of Isaac was allowed on the Switch in its form, and that they didn't have to potentially hire a third-party company just to reskin the game and sell it completely different. I still kind of feel like you could reskin everything, rewrite the story, change how it all plays, and you would have the same game, just different art on it. Of course, you need a strong theme, and it would be a little bit difficult to find a second strong theme that so easily would integrate into the first strong theme. Alright, well, guess we did our best. And I suppose if you look at the history of top-down twin-stick shooter games, like Smash TV is pretty rough, pretty brutal story too. Shooting and killing thousands, if not millions of people on TV for entertainment purposes and for prizes and money. Yeah, we gotta skip this. It's pretty brutal, and there is roguelike elements in a top-down twin-stick shooter in Isaac, and I'm not sure there's too many other games that had that. Gauntlet kinda had that. Gauntlet, another top-down twin-stick shooter. Just by the nature, any top-down twin-stick shooter is gonna have you killing hundreds of enemies in fairly violent ways. You'd have to really be creative to somehow turn this into like a paintball game or something where you're just playing water fighting, or something like Splatoon, which, yeah, Splatoon, very creative in their way in which they made a first-person shooter game that would be more kid-friendly. Let's see. Yep. Very little to say these days. This series definitely needs to come to an end. When I play a game like this, I would have to think about what I want to play next. Because you probably want something a little bit more mindless, something that you can just not have to put all your attention and focus into. Something that's a little bit more grindy and more of a collectathon type experience. Something that's easier, definitely. It's easy to say, yeah, Binding of Isaac is a fairly skill-intensive game, so... That being said, I well, not recently, but in the last year or so, played Cuphead and was completely unable to beat most of the bosses on hard mode in Cuphead, and since the game really does not let you get to the final boss unless you do beat it in hard mode, I had a fairly unsatisfactory experience with Cuphead. Whereas Isaac lets you see everything, at least, or almost everything, without playing on hard mode. There might be an argument with Repentance, in particular, making hard mode actually hard, that there might be some... They might have hit a point where they need to rethink the difficulty a little bit more. and make some easier paths. Let's see. No soul hearts there. Guess we'll see if we can find the rest of the rooms. Secret room can't be here. Waiting. Okay, one key to go to the item room. Secret room can't be up or down here, so theoretically it could be to the right here, but then that says no. Box of spiders. Book of Belial. So that implies to me that the secret room is here. And then that gives me 2 keys, which doesn't help much. I think that's as good as it's gonna get. So we'll just wait and see if we get hyper with the cartridge, or if that has to be triggered by taking damage first. Maybe you have to take red heart damage to activate the cartridge. Black heart. What? Heart. Shot speed. Apparently there are a couple transformations and synergies that we just kind of never saw too. Symbiote, like having 3 things attached to you at once, apparently is a transformation that's fairly rare. The truth of it is, Guppy is just so easy to get, relatively speaking, that there's just an incredibly low chance that you'll notice any other transformations. Oh yeah, in that Blue Baby run I also got Transcendence, which unlocking that has shown it to be a very useful item, so I would suggest getting that. In a lot of ways, I guess you should have probably tried to beat the lamb with every character before you even beat Blue Baby and Isaac. It feels like it's kind of backwards that the Blue Baby Isaac content maybe was added later, because beating the lamb with a specific character seems to unlock the character's item that might transform you into that character when you die, making a situation where you could get easy victories for some of the more difficult characters. I don't think there is a lost soul. Well, maybe there is. If you did unlock the lost, maybe you could beat the lamb and then get Lost's soul and then pick that up and potentially beat Blue Baby with that. I want to mention also in that previous run, even though I didn't show it, the rocket airstrike ability I was using to try and bounce items through the 1x1 square with a spike on it. You can do it. It takes forever. getting the angle right and playing pool with it is demanding, to say the least. It's probably not worth your time for almost any item. These are pretty bad guys. To have to fight so many of. I never liked these guys. Not that I really like any of them, but I guess my favorite enemy would be the mouthless little maggots that at best can only run into you and hurt you. They can't shoot anything at you. Or the red tentacles that stick out of the ground and can't move, and I think they can actually fire something at you, but they have such a long wind up that they never will. We are getting soul hearts, and we seem to be more on an angel track than a devil track, which is nice. Like to find a large deposit of coins. Let's see. We have one bomb. That is probably the secret room, super secret room here. So let's do that. Now give us a black heart. Let's go check out the other rooms first. We could definitely use for more speed, more shot speed, more damage. All of those would help greatly. Actually, on second thought, it's not like we're anywhere close to Mom's Foot. Let's go take on the boss now and hope we haven't taken anything that would hurt our soul heart damage or deal with the angel chances. Yes, we can take this out fairly easily. Just have to avoid getting hit. Which I'm doing the bad job at. Alright. Damage and HP up. I think we go into, like, anyways. We got an angel room, and I don't think we can skip a bunch of this. I did a bunch of paralysis, thinking maybe that would cause something to happen, like increase my damage resistance or anything like that. As far as I can tell, taking a bunch of paralysis does not do anything. Maybe it makes you invulnerable for a brief time, kind of like the Tanuki suit and the gnarled leaf, which there's an item that really didn't ever show up enough to actually be used. Right. So Hierophant. give us a couple of soul hearts. And I guess if you take Hierophant in card form and found a Jera, you could move it to a different room. But if you pull the Hierophant immediately, then you're stuck with the 2 soul hearts in that specific room that you triggered it in. It is weird that there isn't a pill or something that causes a ton of coins to appear, but not super weird. Just a little, feels like there could have been something here that caused that would have that happen. Alright, well, we can go in the shop for 2 cents, which is not worth it. We can take this. We can check to see if there's a secret room here. Gives us bombs. We can then blow this up, which gives us nothing. I don't know if we really are anywhere in a position to be using extra bombs. Alright, so then we run down this way. You pick up this. You do this inside this area, and that gives you 2 black cards. I didn't know that was gonna happen. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I now have learned something very important. Just to always pop Hierophant cards inside dark room, secret rooms if you can. See, this is the 20-minute mark, and we're not anywhere near the end of the road. Yeah, we would have had to have been 2 extra floors done to get into the boss rush in this run. And yeah, it's like you gotta just stop looking for secret rooms. You gotta stop looking for super secret rooms. You have to just hope you get a good combination of items. Hope you don't take damage so you can have a deal with the devil, deal with the angel run. And then once you get into the boss rush, you have to just hope to actually not die and beat the 15 waves of 2 boss level characters each. Alright, well. I suppose we want Lemon Party to go with us. Can't move over to attack the other guy because there's too much creep on the floor. Darn it. Was there a way to avoid damage there, or is this just one of these rooms that's not really balanced? I would be a little surprised if somebody could show me that every single room combination actually does have a way to avoid damage with your base stats. At a certain point, that might be an interesting challenge, is make it through this gauntlet of rooms with these items without taking damage. Every time you take damage, you restart the room. And that, like an arena mode where you can just select who you're gonna fight and what kind of room they're in would be very helpful to practice. Because, like, I am still, at the end of this whole series, I am still pretty bad with the haunt. And whether or not it's the room with the jars on the edges, or whether it's the version of the room that is completely empty, I am still pretty awful with the haunt. So if I could just fight the haunt 20-30 extra times and practice it for an hour, I probably would be much more confident in taking on those guys. I'm not great with It Lives. I'm not great with the adversary, but it's very hard to fight those characters without at first putting in an hour of gameplay that might drastically affect your skill just because of being tired by the time you make it to a character. Well, getting 2 extra black hearts is going to prove to be fairly useless at this rate because I'm just messed up so badly. There's a soul heart if we can find a way to fly. Yeah, what we really would like to see here, well, it's probably worth taking that. Is it worth taking it now? Come on, come on, come on. How do you... I guess you just up and down and through the middle with these guys. Can we get to the boss room without taking damage? And then we'll check this floor out more after that point. This is too slow, obviously. Another black heart. We get a soul heart or another black heart. We could blow up those skulls and see if we can find a another black heart, but we don't have enough bombs to do that. Yeah, those enemies are colliding with each other and they don't have any AI programmed into them to tell them to one go left and the other go right. Alright, that is worth the trade. Plus we have a decent amount of keys at the moment. Just take it easy, take it nice and slow, and hopefully we won't take any dumb damage. Okay. So if you don't have flying, is it worth it to try and get to this point? I think a bomb here gets you... Interesting. It didn't get me there. So you can do this, and then At this point, this bomb is worth the 1 bomb there. And this bomb is worth the 1 bomb there. So that got us basically 1 extra bomb. Maybe 2. And I guess if you were boss rushing, you would not bother to put up with that room. Not that you see that room that often anyways. Yeah, this still feels really, really slow. These rooms feel weird, too. To just have an almost guaranteed damage room where either you've got to dance and avoid getting hit by the eternal flying heads to hit the one character with an angled shot because you can't even do a head-on shot. These guys seem to be capable of stepping on the spikes somewhat without at least killing themselves immediately. Maybe they were just walking very close to the spikes, getting bumped on them. This is a giant floor. Enemies throwing out different transformations as they are getting killed. Between turning into flies and turning into the faster moving, more irritating skullhead characters. I guess I'd kind of want to compare him to like a Cubone Pokemon. Okay. Teleport. I might try it once, but we'll do that later. Honestly, at this point, I think the boss room would have to be down this way. It would be asking quite a lot to believe that the square was going to go up another one. Alright, let's do this. Just general Loki. Well, this is the Loki with the annoying spikes trying to kill you. And can you get an angel room and then get another angel room? Or do you only get angel devil deals on the second boss in a double wide? He's all jumping in the corners, shielding himself. Halo all stats up. Oops. How are we supposed to have known that? That's interesting because I would have kind of assumed that this could not happen, that you couldn't get a 2x large room on the Isaac floor. And what this has done is locked me out on a lot of items that I was going to go back and get, potentially. Unless I can find some crazy way to escape and leave the room. It doesn't make a lot of sense that you would be prevented from leaving the room and investigating the floor anyways. So that is definitely something they could have changed in Rebirth. It definitely could be changed in The Binding of Isaac 2 if ever such a thing was ever made. Yeah, you'd have to get fairly crazy. I would just kind of expect in Binding of Isaac 2 that you would by default have like a fire damage, air, water damage stats, and it was something closer to like Borderlands where there's just gazillions of guns or gazillions of items that change at least double the amount of stats you have. Like you could have a default depiction of at the very least of the goodness value of a character where you tilt towards being good or bad. Well, this sucks. Can we survive this? I guess becomes the question. Yeah, and 2 of Diamonds now becomes kind of useless also, because we're not going to see any more stores. Best case scenario, we see an arcade and we decide to gamble. An arcade perhaps with a donation button. And we'll take that at Krampus. Well, I think you chalk up that whole floor to a big whoops. That really messed us up. Item-wise, we barely have anything. You should unlock something for having not taken items. Like a bare bone run. There is something in Repentance, like a character or mode where you can only hold 6 items at a time and you have to trade out the item and effects. That definitely is a different experience. Maybe 6 items is the minimum that is reasonable, instead of just 0. Yeah. Yeah, the game wouldn't probably change enough to be interesting if you actually could not get any items at all. It would just be grinding through rooms for an hour. May have to end up playing this off screen too. Like we'll give it the college try here and go a couple hours doing runs with our character Judas, but yeah, we need to find something that makes his health issue get addressed very early, and then we need to continuously maintain that health. With a lot of cautiousness. Alright, tin bombs. There's no lightly tinted bombs here. This is not terrible place to try and blow something up. But yeah, 1 coin is hardly a good trade for a bomb. I guess I should rethink whether it is worth blowing up those things or not. Probably isn't. You would need like the humbling bundle to double it, and then maybe you get 4 cents for blowing up 4 or 5 pots at the same time. And there really isn't ever going to be a situation where it makes a lot of sense to... Well, should have put it closer to this one, because that would have exploded more things. Yeah. Thinking the super secret room is here. Red patch. Increase your rage. And then it's just a matter of where do we think the secret room is. And I guess it is here, so we need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hope that works. Seriously? That is not the secret room. Here? Okay. What's our luck stat? Starts at 1. Seems like we're doing fairly good here. If we could get $1 on this early point, that would be very nice. Okay. See if we can get 15 cents. Nope. Okay. So you take a bomb for discount. We'll see what that pill did. We'll take this pill. And we'll take this key. I guess I could have done this. There we go. That would have gotten me over the 15-cent mark. And I guess the chance of a nickel or a dime does really increase your odds. But do I have anything else I can blow up? Guess not. You know what? I think for the donation machine, since there's basically only 5 more runs I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna just intentionally leave the donation machine at 0, 0, 0. Then if there is anything new that unlocks in Afterbirth, and you have to go around in a circle, maybe that would be the optimal starting point. I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't anything new. or if there's some like new achievement for getting it all the way back up to 999. And it's hard to believe unless there's a lot more items that increase your money that you really would in Afterbirth DLC in particular, get the bank all the way, the donation machine all the way back to that point. Book of Secrets tells us where things are except for secret rooms and super secret rooms. Something like the Book of Secrets, I suppose, puts more value on the compass and the blue map and the regular brown map as more special items, or at least playing them up like they're more special items. Well, I guess there's nothing else to do here. Alright. So just get far enough away from this. Try to zigzag around the character. Wow. I mean, I just did the blue baby run, but yeah, early game Judas. You have 2 hits, and if anything, this really just shows what the problem would be with playing as the Lost. Just before I even made it to Mom's Foot, 60-70% of all runs would end in death. I just never got that good at the game to avoid damage early, and maybe later in some runs I would then have something like the wafer that was a damage reduction item or some kind of defensive orbital, but to even get to that point requires a level of skill that I just never acquired. Same can also be said for Boss Rush. I never acquired a desire or skill to play the game in a fast manner. Let's see. Pills. Full health. Paralysis. Bombs are key. Guess we try this then. Switch that back to a bomb. And then we set that here. Yeah. If I could get 7 cents for a Steam sale on the first floor, that would be great. But I don't have any chance of doing that. The only thing that could have happened is that this could have been explosive diarrhea. But instead it's Are You a Wizard? Yeah, it just cannot take on the haunt. Lucky foot. Luck sucks. Yeah. I definitely would want to improve the luck aspects as an element in A Binding of Isaac 2. something that makes it much more obvious when something lucky happens because of your luck being up, and something that really helped you quite a bit. So now we have a trinket where we turn into the blue baby when we die, but that doesn't help you get the completion mark at all. And we have a dead ghost baby flying around. Yeah. And even in that case, I didn't respawn as the blue baby. You just have a chance of respawning as the blue baby, I would assume. If it even does that. Maybe it doesn't even do that. And that damage up is nice and all, but you really need HP up. Like the one character. But then you kind of don't ever get just HP ups on pedestal item rooms. At least you get them very rarely. Is there possibly an argument to not go through every room and not check everything? I mean, there's small arguments to that, certainly, but not big ones. Ace of Spades. Maybe I have not been activating my ability, Book of Belial, when I've been fighting the Haunt. Tears and shot speed up could be very useful. See, according to this, our playtime is somewhere around 260 hours, looking at Steam on my second monitor. I question that. Wow, damage seems to be fairly high. Does matchstick... Not matchstick, but whatever item I picked up, does that like lock your damage? So that if you have an item that increases your damage and then you pick up that item, it locks it at that higher spot. I think that would be too weird of an item to do. If anything, there should be a left trigger item that locks your stats at what they are, and then you could pop a bunch of cards, like the strength card for instance, or the devil card, to increase your stats, or and lock them in. But at a certain point that might also just be the equivalent of turning cards into pills. If there was an item that randomized your stats every room, and then you had a object that would lock into that, I guess that would make some sense. But yeah, judgment card in any location is either going to take coins or it's going to take hearts. I don't know a location where you could make a judgment card give you a key beggar, and even at that doesn't work for this run at this point. So I guess you just try and pop it in the store next to the other guys. If you can blow up two guys. go in here. Do this. Pop our judgment. See if maybe we can get this guy to pay out really fast. Well, a bomb for soul heart's not terrible. Let's see. And I guess we know where the secret room would have been. And the super secret room was probably there. HP cheers up, shot speed down. And we've now got this laser. Right. Okay. I don't think we can take this. And I'm not sure we even want to take this. I think we can take this. Though. At least that gets us one the guppy and gives us 4 soul hearts, and then all of a sudden we now are on a path that isn't too different from playing as Blue Baby. Which is still an incredibly difficult path, but it's better. 1 item into guppy. 4 instead of 3 soul hearts. Much higher damage. Laser, high shot speed. 2 of hearts item, which is going to prove to be pretty useless. I don't know if there was a way I could have avoided damage there. Let's go see what item we can get here. Halo flies for protection. It's not terrible. Let's see. Trickle charging. Something I got in the Blue Baby run was having the flies slowly trickle charge. But more keys, increasing your chance of getting keys, I think is better. Although in all fairness, I would also like bombs. Maybe you won't get bombs if you are solely focused on keys. But whatever it was that was having the guppy's head slowly refilled really wasn't changing much as far as the actual experience, because it was taking so incredibly long to charge anyways that you were still basically only getting 1 room charge. Second guppy item. Oh man, this is stupid to do. 2 black hearts now. And our second guppy item, which is Guppy's hairball, which is something we won't even really use. I'm hoping these next 2 rooms treat me nicely. And we can maybe get some bombs. Or some soul hearts. Yeah. I think at this point, I didn't mean to trigger that. I meant to drop the item. Alright, so we are very nicely situated now. We will have to skip this room, skip everything else on this floor, but I think I've set us up for potentially angel deals. I'll go ahead and take 2 of hearts. It says it's an item multiplier. Does it multiply the hearts on the floor? I don't think it does. So yeah, ideally you skip this next deal with the devil trade because you pretty much have to anyways, and you get several angel trades instead. Was hoping for that pill to do something more interesting than just a medicist, but not really the worst outcome. There's Soul Heart. I guess if I get through this whole floor and I don't have any coins, I might as well just go into the shop and see if I find fight the greed. A greed, one of the greed characters. We have 1 bomb and questionable places where it would go. Might be smarter to blow up that rock and just get a guaranteed return. Or smarter take this. Yeah, this is a really good deal. Put a bomb here, see if there's a secret room. There is. Close that. Get a bomb back. Guppy's head. We are now Guppy. We are now flying. We have traded it off. Our damage is fairly high, so I don't think Book of Belial beats Guppy. I think Guppy beats it. Just Guppy's head giving us flies every room. And yeah. Whole bunch of soul hearts. Yeah. Just a continuous stream of flies. Speed down. That's not what we were looking for. Luck down. Well, we're gonna focus further on pills. We probably need a PhD. Let's see. Flatworm versus trickle charging. I'll stick with trickle charging. Coins and bombs. 2 of hearts multipliers. Well, we had all those soul hearts on the ground. I could have pushed that, I guess, also all the way to the edge, just to see, use one bomb to check that floor. We could go in there, into the curse room. I don't know what more we're even looking for as far as potential red chests, though. Yeah, you go in here. It takes you to this. I'm gonna do 2 of hearts now. I'm gonna take this and this. And I'm gonna, let's see, Book of Sin. Yeah. And here we just have yet another guppy item. So is that really worth the trade with the question marks happening? No, but whatever. It's kind of hard to not see success here. Bombs would have been the only thing we're short on had I saved the bomb, and I still wouldn't really have known what a super secret room was, so I'm probably made the right decision just wasting it or being silly with it. At least that was the more fun decision. I decided to rub my eye as soon as that fight started. You can pop Hermeticus if you want. It's not really going to do anything for you. And we'll not go into it as if that's going to count towards us getting an angel room deal, which it won't. I'm fairly certain of that. Necropolis extra large. There. Just get over here. They're gonna give us PhD for free. Better pills. So now speed up. Bring our speed back up. This is gonna all be about just getting to the boss room. Well, Necropolis extra large, I guess means at the end we will be fighting Mom's Foot, so we should just fight the whole floor. Just check out the whole floor as it is. More coins, more keys. We'd like to spend some money at the shop, and stupidly we're gonna just not put any in the donation machine, even though this would be the prime time to put 40 cents in plus into a donation machine. What I'm not gonna do though is start a whole new save file on Afterbirth, which is what other streamers certainly have done, where they just have maxed out and 100%ed their current save file, and instead of just continuing from that point, which would make the game fairly easy, they decide to start over from scratch. Honestly, I don't think much would change. It would just add a lot more time to playing Afterbirth if you start over with a new save file. Alright, take that. We'll take that. We can afford everything anyway, so don't have to be particularly stingy about it. Is there really a reason to blow this up? Yes, because we wanted to see if there's a secret room back there. And there wasn't. And a couple of coins could prove to be very useful if we happen to run into a beggar or something. Do we now have enough bombs to try and find black hearts through skulls? Maybe a little bit, not a lot. There, to my knowledge, is nothing special about getting all the guppy items. So, wouldn't want to go crazy overboard with it and just like try to have everything that's available to ever own. Yeah, with the victory laps, at a certain point you could probably have every item in the game. Or nearly every item. Maybe there's a few that you wouldn't, that are mutually exclusive, but yeah. It also might be that certain seeds of runs will just not let you have certain items anyways. I think that may very well be the case. So even if you were to do a victory lap and just keep playing the game over and over again, you still wouldn't be able to collect and unlock everything. I have seen a YouTuber that seemingly with Repentance DLC can unlock, was able to figure out a way to unlock most of the characters, but the way he went about it was so crazy and so long and complicated that it's just not a reasonable way to play the game. You would be better off just unlocking 3 or 4 characters at best and then playing a second time for some more characters and then playing a third time for some more characters. Okay, well, at this point, secret rooms are gonna be tough to determine. Or at least I thought they were gonna be tough to determine. Oh, we have this explosive diarrhea. Should we save that or should we use it? I kind of think we want to just use it. Already fought that room. I'm just getting more and more flies. I did see in the description of Binding of Isaac that Rebirth is programmed in a C++ custom engine. Which, yeah, that engine probably could use some tweaks, but you still would be using C++. You wouldn't be using the original Flash engine for sure. Okay, rules card. Walls will harden over time. Time is the essence. Interesting. Does the game get harder by time more than it gets difficult by by floors? Oh, that would be weird. Although that almost would then explain boss rush a lot more. If I did just race through the game more often, maybe I would have run into easier enemies. Fate, Flight Eternal. We're already flying because of Guppy, so. But it did give us a Eternal Heart. HP and you feel protected. That was HP up. I'm playing as Abel. Why did I get... If I got HP up and you feel protected, then why don't I have any red hearts? That doesn't make any sense. Okay. So I guess we could go fight the first floor enemy. With our flies. And then we'll take Squeezy, definitely. Just tears up for that much. And then we have kind of a great build, so it's kind of crazy to take the Dice Room 5, which I think changes all the items we have, but whatever. Let's see what this does. Nope. 5 is redo the whole floor. Great. And now we're just doing a Necropolis 1. Which then that opens up a deal with the devil option that we would have been shortchanged had we stuck with our previous option of the extra large floor. So we've broken out of a curse. Could use some bombs. HP speed down, then you feel stompy. Big troll bomb. Probably wasn't worth it to come into this. Like, what are we looking for? Damage up, maybe? That's about all we could really be looking for, is damage up or some kind of damage protection, which you probably aren't going to get from red chests. We do know the boss is this way, so we should take on the boss first. I guess we can be stompy, so we might need to remind ourselves of that and use that to our advantage later. Okay, yeah. Double Trouble Chub. Should be no real challenge. Just avoid getting hit. Alright. damage and HP up with meat. Alright, we will take the W word of Babylon. And if we can now trade off another health, 2 spades to double our keys. Right, we need bombs. We can use the moon to get into the secret room if we don't have a bomb. Maybe we'll get some bombs in the secret room. Hit all of these rocks. We may have a build here. This could still go bad, though. So we don't want to exaggerate. Even at full health, it's still very possible I'll just lose focus and take all the damage necessary to die. Let's go back up here and check to see if we smashed all the rocks. Yes, we did, but there are a couple of flames if we end up with a lot of bombs. Well, if I'm flying, I can go in here for free. I can blow that up with a troll bomb. Pick up this. Find that to be a troll bomb. Also, I can then pop to the moon. Let's see if I blow this up. It kind of just give me coins. So I need a way out, and I don't want to waste a bomb, so I'm gonna leave the shopkeeper where he is. And with this level of flies, you can just kind of walk into a room and they'll automatically kill half of the people in the room. Over half of the side of the room you happen to be in. Small rock. That has been a very MVP item also. Once we unlocked it, we got it very frequently. And we can see now our damage is at the maximum, so we probably hit the cap. And we'll touch Lemon Mishap, but we won't keep it. There we go. Take Curse and Evil up. We'll take a Soul Heart. Take a Bomb. We'll take a Pill, which will speed up. And we'll take a Key. And we have so much money, we'll take the battery too. Let's just buy everything in the shop and leave it there. And of course, once again, if I was not intentionally leaving the donation machine at 0, I would have dumped 36 cents into it. Because odds are we're not going to get another shop, and even if we did get another shop, I don't know if we really need anything. We have 3 bombs to look for the super secret room. We have 2 bombs to look for a super secret room. I guess I could have pushed this over there and checked that, but I guess there's no chance of it being there. Super secret room is not here. which then gives us a decent chance. Interesting. So it might be down here, I guess. Last chance. No. Technically, it could have been up here. But also, technically, there's a lot of other places it could be once you start to get that desperate. Alright, now, item room, shop, library. Let's go down here and check out the library, I guess, first. And remember, we have Stompy, so we could potentially leave a bunch of black hearts on the floor, or take them, and I think we will leave that. Wow, I didn't know you could get a donation room for 2 keys. It's like the game itself is telling you, hey, put something in the donation machine. That might be a very decent offering of coins for the donation machine. Like, maybe that it never jams in that room. 30 cents is definitely not anything to laugh at. Some bombs. HP up. Maybe it's a little silly taking HP up when you're already at full health, but whatever. And there's all the reason in the world to clear out an entire floor, because you're getting more flies, and all the reason to look for more babies and secrets in rocks and skulls. It's strange, there really should be something that unlocks for blowing up a lot of pots, but I don't think there is anything like that. Right, so you take this, then you take this, then you take this back, and you just did all of that for the elimination of those items from the item pool. And there is, in Repentance, a reason why you would leave a bunch of items on the floor, because you come back from the basement, from the dark place or wherever, and then you start going up. I don't know if you actually make it all the way down to the dark place before you start going back up, but when you on the way back up, you start to get different items where those pedestal items are, so that they're re-rolled for you automatically, which that puts an interesting twist on it, certainly. This is Necropolis too, so we need to take the black heart on the way back. There's kind of no reason to take the hermit card. 2 diamonds can be 30 cents. Yeah, inevitably I could have played better with the coinage, had more coins. Yeah, I don't know if it's really worth Stepping on all the rocks, but whatever. We'll try that again. Maybe there's a soul heart on the floor? No. Hands are moving fairly fast. Step on the rocks. It really feels like this has been a real long journey just because of how many times we've done a run before this and failed. There you go. Able. Take the magician card. Have enough bombs to look for secret rooms? Can't be here. Decent chance it's here. A whole bunch of coins. Okay, we found the secret room. Can we find the super secret room? Should we go for explosive thoughts? No. We are so well suited with high, lots of shots, and yeah, I just don't imagine. Super secret room's probably way to the left, so I'm just gonna ignore that. Again, we'll just take things to eliminate them from the pool. I assume that that's actually happening. And this is about the best points to flick the magician card. Anyways. Deal with the devil. Just Krampus. Is there any argument for taking the head of Krampus? I'd say no. Flies are just doing such a good job. But yeah, man, this feels like this has been a lot longer than this run really has been because of all the previous runs. Yeah, we're only 40 minutes into this run, but we're an hour and 48 minutes into the recording, according to my counter. And that's just too long for an episode. Yes, we generally probably know where to go. You still have to be careful against like enemies like this where they're gonna shoot 8 shots even if you kill them really fast, so you are going to potentially take damage no matter what. I feel like at this point stomping on the red bricks is not a smart move, so we'll not do that. Or we'll try to avoid doing that. And this might be weird because we're gonna have a dice room, and it's questionable what dice roll we would want, if any. We're very well suited for success here. Right, like mom's pill, reusable pill generator, giving us bad gas. Probably not super useful. One, I think, changes trinkets or things. So we could, like, drop items here. I think trickle charge actually works, though, with the guppy's head. Keys and coins. I'm just gonna leave everything on the floor. Right. This is womb 1 also, so we can just go and fight this now. I think you take damage and range up. What is our range? Yeah, our range could use a little help. And sure, we'll take Fear Shot while we're at it. Pick that up. Guess we'll go there. So now we're back to just trying to build up flies. Let's go get the rest of this. Well, that was lucky. Let's go and get the rest of this floor cleared out, and then we'll hit the one dice room and see what that changes. And hopefully it doesn't change something horribly, like lowering all of our stats way down. This will almost certainly be our final run anyways for this episode. I'd like to succeed, but I'd also like to have fun. Allah's passage. I have no idea what that would do. Does that unlock a door? Was that potentially a opportunity to get into the Mega Satan floor? I mean, this definitely would be a run where Mega Satan should be considered. Right. Let's see. Let's go and drop the trinket also. And let's see what happens. Well, it changed me, but my damage and my range seemed the same. We now have an explosive, maybe hurt yourself every time. We no longer have Stompy. We apparently got the guillotine. We lost Guppy's head. Alright, this could be bad. No, this straight up explodes in my face every time. I literally can't win. I can't fire. Whatever combination of items I've gotten was crazy enough that I can't adjust for it. Yeah. It explodes in your face if you do a quick flick. It explodes in your face if you do a charged flick. It must be some kind of extremely I can't do that either. Interesting. That wasn't the boss room. So why is there a hole here downward? That's a glitch. We'll take that. We'll take it downward and see what happens. We gotta figure out something though. We gambled and we lost big time on this one. I could just bob and weave. Certainly. Then there might be an argument to that where we can just use the flies to get where we need to go. We can bomb. Maybe there would be something to that idea. Looking for the secret room. Which couldn't have been there. Could be here. Well, and there's no telling where it is. Down we go. Yeah, we kind of have to mad dash now through the remaining 3 levels. Unless I can find some kind of left trigger item that can let me actually fight. Like, this really is just going to be, can you fly around and use your flies, and what happens when you run out of flies. Man, you got all kinds of spiders. This might be just the ultimate spider run, an infestation run. And I guess you just try to find the exit. I have a balls of steel pill. And that'll give us a couple soul hearts. We've got one little baby that will automatically fire on people, but the rest of them are all blocked by the poops. So this is an incredibly slow effect. We have the demon baby. I don't think there's a reason to use Hermeticus. We don't have a dark bomb. Even if we did have dark bomb, I don't know if that would help any. can bomb if necessary. This is gonna be insanity. Like, it makes some sense that you might be able to pull this off. It kind of makes sense you'd be able to pull this off for most rooms, but when you start to get really serious about it, there's just no reasonable reason to believe you can beat It Lives and Satan and the Lamb with this build. And yeah, no amount of pills are really going to help you, so we should just move on. Yeah, we are definitely going to go down in a blaze of glory if we go down. Being completely unable to fire without hurting yourself. Alright, this is ridiculous. Just totally ridiculous that this is working. Yeah, and you're not going to run into item rooms or anything, so best case scenario, you would just find a arcade. As well just leave things on the floor. Just a completely empty room. Yeah, I've noticed that's happened before where we've gone into a room and just it's been completely empty. I guess the strategy here is to build up as many bombs as possible. And I guess maybe I could just sit around and wait for more flies to spawn, because Guppy slowly creates flies, I think. But obviously it's too slow. If our damage wasn't so high, this would be completely undoable. And if we didn't have the demon baby, honestly, if we had gotten demon baby in about half of the challenges, that would have broken out of the annoying situation of not being able to shoot. Like having something like Guppy's hairball and going around in circles like this and then letting the demon baby shoot a little bit would have worked fine. Somebody somewhere is still alive. I'm taking too much damage. Let's go back and get the soul heart. And we'll take the bad gas pills also, since we've got nothing else left. Be crazy to go into a cursed room. But yeah. More and more this is just going to become a case of can I get to the boss without taking damage? Or am I going to end up in the wrong place? I guess you stick with trickle charging and the bottle pills. Maybe I could get another balls of steel pill. It is just really, really ridiculous to go into a room and just be completely incapable of doing anything other than running away. Tears up, tears up, tears up. Range is at the maximum. Would that potentially... I mean, at some point we may have to fire if we have some extra health and just see if maybe with the tears up pills now I can actually fire, or if this is just a synergy that is just doomed. It probably is synergizing with guillotine so that you're firing and hitting yourself that way, but it could also be a case of you just having really explosive shots that are triggered by something else. There we go. Let's see. See if we can find the super secret room. I guess we have enough bombs also that we could blow up skulls. So we should take advantage of that also. There we go. Oh, that was easy come, easy go. Did we already find the secret room? Yes, we did. So there was no reason to go into that room. Alright. All hope isn't lost. Most hope is. Actually, let's go back and let's look at every room for skulls. If we can blow up skulls, get 2 black hearts, I might change some things. Blowing up flames is not of interest to me. Blowing up rocks, not of interest. Blowing up shopkeepers, no interest. Okay, well, let's see what this does. Yeah, when you're so close to potentially having a full charge, I guess it's worth taking on this charge room. I guess I have poison touch also. Speed down? How can I have a speed down? I thought I had PhD. I guess maybe I lost that. So the last 2 decisions I made were not good decisions. Honestly, if I was gonna get deals with the devil after beating the devil, I don't think that would help me much. See how we're gonna take on Satan this way. Just kind of stand somewhere near him and let the spiders and flies do their job. Just let the dead bird do the rest. Just avoid taking damage. Well, it's crazy, but it's working. Are there any red hearts on this floor? No. Just absolute insanity. Absolute insanity. There was nothing wrong with the original build we had. We totally would have won very easily with that build. I should not have rolled on the dice room. Okay. Brimstone. We gotta take it. I gotta hope that Brimstone now lets us fire, and it does. So Brimstone has undone the problem. Do we want to take a bloody baby, or do we want to just hold on to one more health? I think we want to hold on to just one more health, and we'll blow this up just to see if that does anything, and it didn't. Alright, so now we just need to get out of here. It's not the best amount of health, but we've adjusted, and I could certainly still just play like I was playing, but now I can put a little bit more oomph into it with toxic, poisonous, green Brimstone. You can see it's not even really doing that much damage. I am probably better off just avoiding things. And I am no longer afraid of picking up things. Like, our damage is really low. That's... Brimstone brought our damage down considerably. But whatever, I couldn't even use the previous thing. Alright, let's just... For these guys in particular, let's just let the flies do the job. Well, actually, I don't think the flies are going to be successful at doing these. Yeah, that's taking a lot of health. Just show me the path. I'm gonna go back to the right direction. I was doing the... It's funny that... See, and this is why you touch things normally. It's because you want to get it off the pool so it doesn't show up again. Unless that's a common cold, which I don't think it is. I was doing this with the Blue Baby run, and I had amnesia in it, Curse of Amnesia for the Dark Place, and I almost thought that I had failed miserably and not taken the negative, or some kind of glitch had happened and there actually wasn't a lamb room, and it just took me to the Dark Place anyways, which it shouldn't work that way. If you get to the Dark Place, there should be a lamb room. It'd be kind of pointless to just let you run around and then not have a boss to fight. But yeah, that is to just say it is very possible to get confused and lost in these final floors when you have cursive amnesia going on. I had to go through every room 2 or 3 times. Just show me where the boss is. Okay. Well, that's HP up, where pills are less likely to be HP up. Is there a way we could get a whole bunch of battery chargers? If I could get 48-hour energy, that would be great. Oh man, this map is taking us all over the place. Like Curse of the Maze. You'd kind of think they would not want to do the whole curse things on the final floor, but whatever. High Priestess, I guess, might be better than Bad Gas. Just a lot of shots going off. If I can get through 2 more rooms without taking damage, that would be great. There we go. But we would practically need a battery at this point to get another HP up. Let's go check this out. So it has to be over here. Is the secret room here? Is the secret room here? Is the secret room here? Jeez. Is the super secret room here? I don't even think it's gonna be really worth it to look for the super secret room. It's just all over the place. There we go. So if we can get a couple more charges, we can then use this card to make an Eternal Heart with another Eternal Heart and get another HP. So that might work as long as we don't take too much damage. Okay. You take that. You go this way and this way and this way. Then you pop that and then pick that up. That gets us HP up. And then to a lesser extent, maybe we'll look for a secret room here. Which I guess you take that and pop that too. Because that will save you one hit, maybe. Maybe it will save you one hit. Maybe it won't. Yeah. This is as good as it's gonna get, and even though we have done some incredibly bad gameplay in this by re-rolling everything, looks like our damage is back up now, probably because of a rage effect. So honestly, this may be the highest stats we've ever had in just total. Full range, full shot speed up, 3 luck, 2 tears, 3 speed, full damage. Yeah, you're just never really going to have a run where your stats are at the max. Maybe there should be a mode where you try to do that through playing the game just constantly in a gauntlet mode, but yeah, that would be a little weird too. Alright, so I'm just gonna put a bomb here, and was mostly just trying to use the I guess I could get hit 4 times here and die, but doesn't seem like that's gonna happen. And there's nothing more to do. We can't open the Mega Satan deal. So we've unlocked the curved horn, which will just once again be another item that we will just never pick up. And I don't think we really got anything new, so yeah, all these smattering of items that are left are all boss rush items or lost items. And yeah, next recording we will do one last run in an awkward way, I suppose, in that we will just play as Isaac on hard mode and try to get at least the mom's heart completion mark. If we can go further, we might as well just go further. And if we beat it and it's not too long of an episode, we'll then try and do some boss rushes, and maybe we'll do boss rushes and on hard to begin with. We'll just see how that really plays out. I think first and foremost, though, I just want to beat Mom's Heart on hard, just to show that we can. Of course, it only gets more difficult with the Afterbirth DLC, when more things are asked of you to be beaten on hard, to unlock items. And then after we do an episode with Isaac, we'll do one with Magdalene, Cain, Judas. Blue Baby will be a nightmare, but we'll do it. We'll try to keep them all separate unless something really crazy happens and we just beat it on the first try and have a very quick run. And then I, for some reason, want to just do Magdalene. You basically would have to have a boss rush success and a full to the Blue Baby or full to the Lamb run on hard with Isaac to then justify playing Magdalene in the same episode. So that's probably not going to happen. And we'll end on Eden. We've got 40 Eden tokens, which is more than enough at this point if we wanted to play a lot more of Eden. And anything we unlock by beating a boss rush or beating Mom's Heart, which you're just unlocking co-op babies by beating Mom's Heart on hard, will just be more items that we simply will just never pick up. We're at 144 of 178 secrets, so there are 34 remaining secrets. You get that 34 by adding the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 characters. Double that to 18. You're still really far away from secrets. From all the secrets being done. And that's weird. Like, so maybe there's some other items that unlock specifically for beating the lamb or beating Blue Baby on hard, and maybe even some other items for beating Satan and Isaac. But if you were to assume that's the case, then that's too many items, because 9 times 5 would be 45 items. We have 34 items to unlock. So unless there was a specific item, like maybe beating the lamb unlocks an item, but beating Blue Baby doesn't unlock an item, that would get you to 36 instead of 34, which still doesn't make sense. Maybe beating Satan and Isaac alone on hard gets you an item. That would be 3 times 9. That'd be 27, which is below 34, so that's possible. And then that would just leave a few more things that, like the Super Meat Boy and Bandage Girl achievements. Yep. So definitely in the last run, we are going to have to try to at least beat Isaac or Satan on hard also. We're obviously want to go all the way to Mega Satan if we can, but yeah, we would like to try and get that done. Maybe you have to beat Mega Satan on hard mode, and that's when you can blow up the statues and fight the Satan statues at that point. That is a possibility. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this recording. Still same old save file. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.